Hello, everyone. Welcome to another video on business communication. And we have another topic today that is memorandum, which is otherwise known as memo. And we'll be discussing about a few details that are required to undergo for a memo. And let's have a look at that, what memo is and what are the special features that it should include while writing a memo and all that. So I'm Adnan Ayaz, and let's move on to today's topic. Okay, the first thing comes into mind that what a memorandum is. So a memorandum is considered inside correspondence, a correspondence which takes place inside a company or organization. And it is written to someone in your company. There are people working inside the company, so it is written to them. A written statement you prepare especially for a person or communicate an order to give them information about a particular method. So it's about a person or an order that you need to give to somebody about something. So it's what we call a memorandum. Let's move on to the next thing. Then we have another introduction here. The word memo is derived from the word from Latin language, from Latin. Word memo rare, which means to remember, to remember. We can now have a clear idea. It means to like remember something, or remind someone of something. So in the law, memorandum means a document regarding or recording terms of contract. The plural of memorandum is memorandums. Just add s and becomes memorandums. However, in most common terminologies, most commonly it is referred to as memo or memos. And then I move on to the next one. A memo is less formal than a letter. Okay, a letter is much more formal. It is completely fully formal. However, it is less formal and we can use informal language in it up to some extent. It is usually, okay, it usually conveys one idea and is likely to be short. Okay, it is more effective when it is short. Effective memos are clearly written with the objective stated in the first sentence. Okay, so we understand that there is the objective of the memo in the first sentence. So we will be learning that how to write it and all that. We have that information coming up on the next slides. Now, advantages of a memo or memos. So memos are quick and convenient, inexpensive, right? No, it doesn't cost you. It doesn't really cost you a penny. I mean, not literally. And then a written record, and now it can also be preserved. It can also be saved as a written record. And what are the purpose of writing a memo? What are the purposes that we need to achieve when we are looking for a memo or when we're talking about a memo? So it's either to inquire about something, to have information about something, or to inform or like to give information about something, to report something, an accident, an incident, or something that had or report like on a product, on a on a sale of something. So it could be a report. It could also be to remind, it can be a reminder of something as well, to remind people of something and to promote goodwill. All right, so these are the things. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, the characteristics of effective memo or memos. Good memos share certain characteristics, which include the following: clarity, conciseness, unity, unity of theme, and apologies, and informal tone. I mean, these are the things that we need to keep in mind before we're writing a memo. That it is supposed to have an informal tone rather than being very much completely formal. And next thing, clarity. Which let's have a look at these things. A memo must be clearly written because an unclear and vague memo will confuse the readers. It will be confusing the readers, and it may lead them to delay, or maybe they might not produce any action. I mean, if they do not understand anything, they might not be able to work on that. Okay, so it is supposed to be clear in the tone, and then conciseness. Okay? I mean, if you are a student of business communication, so you might already be very much familiar with these terminologies, which come from 7 Cs, but they're not all of them here. Some of them are only mentioned here. So concise and direct memos are more effective. A memo should contain only essential information that is needed, okay? Avoid unnecessary explanation, repetition, wordy expressions, and amplification. Ensure that memo makes its point with the fewest possible words. Like it is supposed to be a concise one. No extra details, no wordy or no verbosity, no amplification, around no repetition. Supposed to be to the point, must be stating the point. That's it. And then we have got unity of theme. A memo which does not have unity of theme distracts the reader and ceases or terminates to be purposeful. I mean, you lose its purpose of being a memo when there's no one theme. There is supposed to be one theme. There is supposed to be one topic when talking about, and it should be just addressing one particular theme. So they say an important way of ensuring unity in a memo is to make sure that it deals with only one topic. A single topic is developed and related topics or related ideas are subordinated. There's one topic and there are related ideas that they work on, they're expanded, they're explained a little bit. And then we have informal tone. In memos, tone is usually informal and conversational. As the writer is likely to be familiar with the reader, personal tone may be used in memos. So we are going to use personal tone, and because we know who the reader is, we know all about the reader. So it's supposed to be like a personal tone. A very formal tone might sound intimidating. Okay, so it shouldn't be very informal. I mean, sorry, very should not be very formal, as I've already mentioned in the previous slides. And parts of a memo. Standard memos contain 4 parts: heading, opening, body, and closing. I mean, in usually we have something different in the essays or speech, but this is something like 4 parts: heading, opening, body, and closing. Let's have a look. What does the heading contain of? The heading segment of a memo includes 4 parts, 4 elements. Number one, two, number two, from, number three, date, and then subject. So to means the name and the designation of the recipient, from name of and the designation of the sender. Like I'm sending to someone, I'm naming somebody over there. I'm sending, it's being sent from me. So I'm going to put my name and designation there. And then we have a date, okay, complete and correct, and subject, topic of the memo. We've already talked about that it should have one topic and should have one theme, and that theme is to be discussed here in the subject line. And then we have example of heading. Theme to Mr. Murtaza, Director Sales, from Mr. Danish, Sales Manager, and date March 11, 2021. Then the subject, sales summary for the year 2020, or sales summary for the year 2020. Okay, it could be like that, both ways. So that's the example here. Let's move on to the next slide. Then we have opening here. That opening means state purpose of memo, give the facts. The opening would be including, here is a summary. This is how we open our letter, how we open up the body of the letter. Here is a summary of the measures at the campus security department is taking to ensure that the only authorized people are allowed into administrative offices. Okay, there could be different ways of opening depending on your subject line. As you requested, here's a copy of annual sales report for our new product mint candy launched in December 2019. So that's just example. Okay, it could be the either it could be the first example or it could be the second one. So this is how you are going to open. You're just be straight to the point. Number three, that's the body here. Body of the memorandum, single space. The body of the memo contains the message of the memo. It describes, explains, and discuss central idea of the memo and includes all the details that support the center's idea. The body may contain a brief statement of the key recommendations the sender has reached already. Okay, so this is the body that we need to include some information into. Now come to the closing thing. I have that word conclusion. I don't know why. Or it's closing. Make a courteous closing statement. Do not use sincerely or other letter like ending, like any other ending letters. Okay, you don't need to do that here, not in memos. So it could be like this. The example would be, please send your recommendations to me by like October 5, 2016, so that we are able to complete the project by the end of November 2016. Okay, you could change the dates. I have not actually put the exact date over there. So you can change the dates accordingly. Then we have optional parts of a memo. What could be the optional parts? A few optional elements may be used in memos as per requirements. These elements include reference. Okay, we need to put a reference with their response to other memos, notices, report, and documents. Okay, so there could be reference. Then we have attachments, list, diagrams, pictographs, tables, and other sources of data. So we all know about what the attachments are. I mean, if needed, you can put some, you can attach some of these things here, the facts and figures. Okay. Then we have distribution list, CC. We know that from the email thing, the person who might be receiving copies of the memos. So everybody who has to receive the copies, we can add them here, there, in that box of the CC. So let's move on to the next one. Organization of a memo, of the memo. Statement of the purpose, message, and statement of future action. The three things are there: purpose, message, and statement of action in the future, or statement of future action, right? Now we have this special formatting, special formatting, and mechanical techniques. Use Namir, sorry, that word is a little bit difficult. Use enumeration, it's enumeration to list important items. Use solid capitals and centering to emphasize an important detail. Use columns with headings to make reading and understanding easier, and move on. Use underlining. Use bullets to emphasize several points. Use boldface and italics when appropriate. Use color coding to attract the attention. Okay, so you can use that color coding as well. Now we have what? We have never is what not to do, what never to include in a memo. Never write memos or any other communication which are communications which are unnecessary. Okay, there's something that you don't think it's necessary to write, don't write about it. Never write complicated, hard to understand memos. Okay, hard to understand. It should be hard to understand. Keep them simple and to the point. Yes, there should not be any verbosity. You shouldn't be using technical terminologies over there that may be beyond the scope of the people. And let's move on to never, next slide here. Never write rude, blunt, or thoughtless memos. Never send memos that have typos, misspelled words, or grammatical errors. There are a poor, of course, all these things, these all mistakes, all of these mistakes are a poor reflection of on you or of you. Okay, so that is it. And let's see what we have next. So there are more things here. My apologies. Important nevers in memos writing. Again, never waste space with unnecessary introductory material. Okay, no wastage of space. No introduction that is not needed. Never leave out unnecessary detail, causing people to have to follow up with questions. So give all the details that are important and pertinent to your memo. Yeah, okay, that is it. Important nevers in memos. Okay, we have so many nevers here. I wonder. Never use a closing line or a signature in a memo. No closing line, no signature. Okay, in a memo. Essentials of a memo. Make sure the memo is clear, concise, correct, concrete, and complete. So we have got like 5 C's here. 2 of them are not supposed to be part of this one. Okay, so you know what 7 C's are. If you don't know, you can always refer back to one of my videos there in the previous lesson. So I have covered some of them. You may go through them if you need to. And let's see what we have next. Essentials of a memo. Make sure that memorandum is well placed, has correct punctuation and spelling. Yes, that's true. Again, we have be sure the memo states the purpose clearly. It has a purpose and it states it clearly. presents message effectively, uses courteous tone, gives reader complete, accurate details, concludes appropriately. There's an appropriate conclusion. Okay, and well, we have got one example here that you could use it as a practice. So you know how to do it. So we will have a practice thing. If you think if you could spare some time out, go for this one. So this is a practice exercise for you. As the resident of computer technician, you have installed a new software program on the company computers. Write a memo to tell all the staff, including your managers, letting them know that they need to come see you for a half-hour training and information session within the next week. Be sure to include what times you are available as well as where and how you can be reached. Below, okay, I don't have example here because I've already given you, there was an example, but I did not include it. So we're not talking about that example right now. Okay, so that is it for today. I hope it is going to be useful for you. Thank you very much. Leave a like if you think it's useful or it's upon your discretion completely. Thank you very much. And thank you very much and have a wonderful, wonderful day.